How is it going, everybody? My name is DeMarco, and welcome to part 1 of my Starfield speculation series, as opposed to a wishlist series where we try to talk about anything and everything that we're hoping to see in the game. Here, we're going to be taking a much more grounded, realistic, and focused approach, talking about the most discussed, the most controversial, and even some confirmed bits of information with little details behind them in an attempt to predict exactly what to expect from Starfield when it releases in 2022.
Constellation, you are go for launch.
As I began to brainstorm topics for this series of discussion videos, I looked through everything that I possibly could, from the official marketing materials and interviews to in-depth trailer analysis videos, leading to one of the most exciting episodes we'll perhaps have in this series, which is where we try to predict the story, the lore, and even setting details about Starfield over a year ahead of its release with actual empirical evidence to back it up. In order to get this started, we have to go back to the infamous 2018 teaser. I know it's been poured through to death. We're going to do it one last time. For most of you, many of this will be a refresher, but it might be enlightening as we pour through some details and connect them to some of the more recent marketing materials that we've seen from the game. We know that this trailer takes place from behind the window of a spacefaring vessel, as we can see the words Constellation in the bottom corner, as well as dirt stains that appear on the window through the duration of the trailer. A couple seconds in, we see the reveal of a planet. It's been widely speculated what planet this might be, some saying that it could be a terraformed Mars, but the majority of people, myself included, speculate that this might actually be TRAPPIST-1e. This is located in TRAPPIST-1 system, which is a series of exoplanets. Looking at the two side by side, the similarities are immediately apparent. Not only are the land masses similarly colored, but even the ratio of land to water, the shapes of the land themselves, even the darker spots that appear on the planet's surface are incredibly similar. If that wasn't enough, TRAPPIST-1e is located 41 light years from Earth. In a conversation between Jeff Keighley, Elon Musk, and Todd Howard, Elon specifically states that 40 light years is a far distance. Sure, we can write this off as some kind of coincidence, but I find it hard to imagine that this is not based around conversations Todd Howard or Bethesda and Elon Musk have had, making me more likely to chalk this one up as a slip of the tongue from Elon. Finally, at the end of the trailer, you get the mysterious bright flash. Predictions were plentiful as to what this possibly could be. The evidence based on one single teaser image and likely the box art that we'll get for the game reveal everything that we need to know. When it comes to looking at these kinds of images, everything done in them is incredibly articulate and precise. Notice in the beginning, as this space anomaly proceeds, the oranges that then bleed into the blues and the whites that we see. Similarly, in the teaser image, we see the exact same thing, starting off with bright oranges and bleeding into blues with a spaceship right in the middle traveling from one planet to another. Who would have thought that this single image would be the key to understanding everything that we currently can about Starfield? Take a look at the ship in the center. Notice those red cylinders in the back. We do notice that from the specific angle in the teaser trailer that we most recently received. Even the shape of the hull, the front of the ship, matches up pretty accurately with what we see in the trailer. But what is it coming from? That mysterious cylindrical structure that is appearing right out of the planet, potentially Mars or some other planet within our very own solar system, that seems to be the key to unlocking everything in Starfield, while we pan over this very specific image of, you guessed it, the exact same structure. But not just any structure, a foreign structure, dare I say, an alien structure. And take your pick at how you want that to be evident to you. Take a look at the symbols on the top right that are built into the structure. Whether it's us trying to decipher, could this be just simple the architecture or another language? What we do know is scribbled in the margins stating debate and constellation continues over the nature of the patterns. Circular design seems intentional, but the disconnected elements suggest separate meanings. Or Perhaps in the bottom right, more notes left for us stating so far we have been unable to determine what happens in the center. This clearly shows that we're still trying to learn exactly what this device might be and what it's capable of. And as we see in the promo image that we've been giving, it seemingly is responsible for allowing us to travel to distant star systems, planets far beyond our reach. But how exactly do we know that this device is in fact responsible for travel? If that promo art was too interpretive for you, well, one last handy note scribbled in the margins: view from approach. So it seems pretty clear-cut, dry as day. 300 years in the future, where Starfield takes place, humans discover alien technology. Alien technology allows us to go to the farthest reaches of known space, colonize new planets, and create new cities like New Atlantis or Aquila, as we see in the developer diaries. And it's not too unsimilar from what we find in Mass Effect lore. The discovery of the ruins on Mars allows to the discovery of mass relays. We can then travel to far places in space. It's super simple, right? But there's one thing that's really throwing me for a loop. Don Howard loves discussing how every single button has purpose, and this table right here, this stupid but beautiful table, is exactly what he's talking about, with key terms on it that throw into question a lot of things for me about this game. Specifically right at the very front where it says GFLA spooled. GFLA refers very specifically to Graviton Field Loop Array. A Graviton Field Loop Array effectively means that within Starfield, ships are able to travel at light or near light speeds, possibly by use of something like an Alcubierre drive, which manipulates this time and space around the ship in order to project it at incredible speeds otherwise impossible. But if humans already have the capability of building our own warp drives, then what is the true need for this alien technology? Aside from the historical and significance and importance of this type of discovery, what is the true use, nature, and more importantly, the true power of this technology? My initial theory is that the ship we see during the in-engine teaser is just a prototype, using one of the first warp drives we were able to create thanks to the discovery of this alien structure. But this is easily disproved based on lore details we get from the developer diaries. Take your pick, whether it's the colonists traveling light years to flock to the city of New Atlantis, the Freestar Collective able to take control of not one but multiple star systems, or the fact that the city of Neon has been established long enough to turn from a single fishing port to an entire city, that people, once again, travel light years to experience a drug only legal there. It's clear that the warp drive technology is pretty widely available. Unless the teaser that we see in engine is actually taking place before the events in the game of Starfield. Theory closed, minds blown. Thanks for watching. Only, not really. I was never truly satisfied with this answer, although as I spent hours trying to comb and theorize of different possibilities and what does it mean and what does it do, I realized this might simply be a case of Occam's razor. There's the artwork that we analyzed way in the beginning of this video that pretty clearly depicts how this technology is being used. On top of that, the fact that it was shown as early as it has been might allude to that it's not as important by the time Starfield in-game takes place as we might want to make it out to be. This theory gives those factions and cities that we saw in the developer diaries time to actually get established and grow to the sizes that they are. And if that's not enough, it does appear as though the shots we see in the exterior of the ship in that trailer is the moon, alluding to the fact that it takes place earlier on, otherwise it would probably be on some foreign or much more alien planet. I've spent so long here because I've personally haven't seen anybody discuss and establish this timeline of lore within Starfield that we already can put together, and maybe everybody else has already figured it out. I'm just stupid and late to the party, but I for the longest time thought that this device was going to be the main focus of Starfield, of what it is. However, it seems as though this is merely the catalyst that launches what we'll experience in the game rather than what Starfield is about. Instead, Starfield can focus on the bigger things and the more exciting things. Where did this come from? What can we discover as a result? Where is the other life outside in the galaxy? Those big questions that Todd Howard keeps mentioning we're going to answer or try to in Starfield. with that, I hope that you guys learned something new, or I simply helped make the wait just a little bit shorter until we get more information about Starfield. In the next part, I plan to talk about the quantity of planets we can hope to see or expect to see in the game. And of course, be sure to leave your comments and feedback and suggestions down below. I plan to do one topic per part, so you might get an entire video dedicated to your suggestions. So please do let me know in the comments. I won't do this all the time, but if it's this video or any other and you've watched the most or the whole thing through, then 100,000 times, you guys are seriously the best. I think watch time is one of YouTube's most important metrics these days, and so you are genuinely helping us get recommended, reach new faces. And as a small channel, big channel, doesn't matter. As much as I possibly can express, it simply means the world to me. But no sappy goodbyes. If you get that reference, you get a cookie, 2 thumbs up. As always, I hope to see you all next time. So long, everybody.